Hi everyone, and Lee Tessier from eXp Realty, and I have Austin Chavis with us today. So quick background, you've been in the business going on a year now, so just under a year. And the background was baseball, so you graduated from University of Maryland, played baseball there. It was nice and easy to get there, right? So
No.
Short term. Went to Calvert Hall for high school, so that kind of led you into JUCO for junior college, and then finally got into University of Maryland. So, so just quick background for Austin, and like I said, settled 13 properties so far this year.
Yeah, going on 13 this week, actually. Tomorrow is actually the settlement. So.
Good. So we were looking at NAR stats, so 1.6 million agents, 1.3 million of those agents have not sold more than 3 homes. So 8% have sold 4 homes or more, just so that, like, giving some stats out there. So as a new agent, you always look for wins in their past when I'm hiring someone. So you know, with you going through what you had to go through for baseball, you need that same type thing when you're getting into real estate of like, all right, you're going to get knocked down 9, 10, 11 times. You're going to have to get back up because you went through that trend of like, hey, I'm making all my calls and things aren't coming together. Right. But then when you start it, like, you get momentum going. So I think of Tom Ferry talking, and it's like, all right, when you get Big Mo going, all of a sudden then you're making your calls, and then a month and a half later, 30 to 45 days later, it shows up. And we were talking that week, and I remember on that Wednesday, you're like, hey, I think I'm going to get this 3rd offer accepted. Yeah. And I talked to you on Thursday, like, hey, I just got a 4th one accepted. And then Friday, it was a 5th.
Well, yeah, 5th and 6th.
And then over the weekend, you had the 6th one. So it was like 6 offers. Of course, they all settle, right? Well, one blew up.
One blew up, and then it wound up coming down to the wire on the other one. That wound up working out. But it all works out in the end if you stay persistent at it. So
yeah, exactly. So that was all in 1 week.
Yeah.
So.
Pretty overwhelming. I mean, especially first year in the business. Never really expected that from the jump. But once it happened, you start to see a lot of the hard work you put in months prior really make a difference in the next coming months.
Yeah, so. Immediate gratification is not there, not in real estate.
No. Well, that's what's good about being here. And like one of the things that when I came on this business, it was pretty tough to get here in the beginning because I didn't have any experience in real estate prior. I just knew I had a passion for it. I studied a little bit in high school through YouTube and stuff like that. But then when you get in the business, you realize the grit and the hard work it takes. And thankfully, I had that background with baseball, and that's why, like, if you're an athlete, this business is great because it's competitive. It's got a lot of the benefits of the competition-based ideology behind it, and that's what's great about where I'm at right now.
Well, I think that's what it is. Like, we try to make it fun, but it also competitive. I know you and Brendan both coming on about the same time and have the same mentalities and so forth. And adding you guys into the gym workouts in the morning. So we work out in the morning with Kadri Ismail. So it was like pulling you into that with me and Reed. Hey, you got to be there. We're up there at 5:50 in the morning and for an hour and change workout that are exhausting. Like the whole day, 190, your heart rate 190 and so forth. But when you put those things in early, your day gets so much easier also, because then now having to go I'm going to make 20 phone calls today is not as bad of a feat as like, holy shit, that workout was crazy.
Right, exactly. And that's like the big thing. Like, part of what makes great business-minded people great is doing the small things very well. And adding us to the workout was more than just a physical, addition to your life. It's creating a routine that makes you that millionaire mindset. A lot of people, we had a conversation, this was earlier in the year, about becoming a millionaire. It's not the $1 million that you can make because people win the lottery all the time. It's what it takes to become the person that makes $1 million. And it starts with those small things. And that's what it's so great to be here, because being around guys like you at 23 years old, I mean, that's in itself priceless, to a guy like me, because when I got in the business, I had no idea what I was doing. I have an idea on how, hard work, the dedication, but when you see it hands-on, that makes such a huge difference.
Right, and then it's holding on to the money and not just go blow it and spend it.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's like, we talked about those things too, that snowball effect of how that grows. And that's the thing, is like, we're not just trying to get you to go like do really well and then go buy a fancy car and then or go deep in debt. So it's a matter of, what are you going to do with your life? We meet our 5-year plans, like, hey, what does that look like for you? Rather than you just run the hamster wheel and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, 5 years just clicked by. We just talked and said, holy, wow, a 1 year almost flew by. Like, it was like we always overestimate 1 year, what we can do in 1 year, but underestimate drastically what can be done in 5 years. So when you start looking at that, where are you going? How are we getting you there? So when you have somebody that's really caring about you, and then you're putting the time and effort into it, amazing what can be accomplished, but you have to have the mindset that you're willing to do it too.
Absolutely, and that's what's great. When we had to sit down on our 5-year business plan, we broke it down from 5 years to a year to even months. So like, when you're working every single day, sometimes it just feels like constant like persistency, and sometimes you get mentally in a rut where it's like, it just feels like sometimes you're like, when am I going to get a deal done? Like, it just feels like it's just never ending. And the persistency is what really gets you going. And the reason why I've become so much more persistent in the business is because of my goals. Right. I know what I'm after. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. And having that mindset is tremendous in terms of getting everything where you want it to be.
Yeah, and then it comes back to taking care of the client. We say, no commission breath, take care of the client. Amazing what comes out of it. That's why we do our client events, client parties, getting back in front of them again. So that goes such a long way. And I think you'll have an amazing future. I just wanted to get you on for a couple minutes and kind of get everybody's perspective on it. So
thank you.
Hey, congratulations, and keep working at it.
Exactly.
Thanks, guys.